He's on this cooking venue, that cooking venue. I can only live vicariously through him.
Admit you're a little bit jealous. You're a little jealous of how good he's got behind.
I would say yes. But he's worked that. He's paid his dues, and now he's enjoying the fruits of his labor. He's put a lot of work into this to get where he is. Let me tell you what he did to me though.
You got to back up. There he is. What's up, Mark?
What's going on, fellas? Man, I have to get some better Wi-Fi.
Hey, Rob, let me tell you what he did to me. First of all, he took his time getting back to me, right? So then when I finally talked to him, he says, D-Gun, I was going to have you go through my PR lady. I said, time out.
Oh,
you going to make D-Gun go through his PR lady? What, me?
Wow, it's like that now. Okay.
No, I felt bad. My bad, D-Gun. I said, I saw you come on my Facebook post. And I was like, man, I'm out here. My wife was walking in the NFL Wise fashion show. So, I got to do the daddy duties first, man. So I had to make sure the wife is taken care of, make sure her makeup is good. So I had to do that first. But, man, I always got to give you guys some love, man.
So where are you? What's your locale today, Mark? What are we doing? What's on the agenda?
Man. Well, right now I'm in Scottsdale at the Scottsdale Fashion Show. They're doing an amazing job with it's called Off the Field Wives with all the NFL wives. They're doing a lot of great stuff. They're raising a lot of money for charity, and they're doing a fashion show. So, it ain't about me today. It's all about the missus and watch her walk down the runway and support her.
That's a smart man right there. Mark, I got to hit you with this before we get into all your grilling endeavors, and you're crushing it, man.
I'm trying.
Where does the loyalty lie here, man? You were an Eagle from 92 to 95 and a Chief 97 and 98, man. Who you pulling for in this game?
You know what? I've been doing interviews for like the last 2 weeks, and I'm just going to have to say my loyalty lies with Gordon Ramsay, Team Ramsay. My loyalty lies with Team Ramsay. Team Ramsay is in the building, baby. So I had to pick my Team Ramsay team, man. So make sure you guys check that out. But like I said, it's going to be a great battle. Obviously, everybody knows, man, I was in Philly for 4 years. They gave me the opportunity. 31 other teams said I was too small. Philly took the chance. Had a great career there. So I love the Birds, man. I know Kansas City fans are probably like whatever, but come on, man. They gave me my first shot. I'm still loved in Philadelphia. I always come back and try to support Philadelphia. And Kansas City is doing a good job. I think lately they've been seeing all this coverage that I've been getting from the media outlets. It's like, wait, maybe we missing out on something. Like, well, I only led the league in interceptions when I was there. So It ain't like I was just chopped liver.
Hey, Mark, you have you lived in Phoenix, but you've been spending a lot of time in Vegas. Do you live in Vegas? Do you live in Phoenix? Where the heck do you live now?
We kept our house here in Phoenix, thank goodness. I listen to the missus because me, brothers, we like to spend that money.
Yeah.
But she was like, no, we're gonna keep this little nest egg here. We have our grandkids that's still here, so we're in Vegas more during the football season because I work for CBS. Doing the Raiders pre and post game live. So I fell into that job. Randall Cunningham made a call in Vegas, and 2 days later I was working for CBS.
Nice.
That's awesome, dude.
That is cool. Well, tell us a little bit about Mark. We had you on earlier in the year, and you were doing some stuff in the backyard and crushing it and whatnot. Yeah. But what's going on now? You mentioned the Gordon Ramsay thing. For people who may not be familiar with what's happening, tell us about that and what your latest endeavor is.
I would say it's probably one of the hottest shows that's on TV right now. They had season 1 last year in Vegas. And then I got cast in February last year. Just some guys say, hey, are you Mark McMillian that played for the Eagles? I'm just thinking like somebody just DM me, like D-Gun did this morning on Facebook. So I was like, yeah, I'm Mark McMillian. They're like, how would you like to appear on Gordon Ramsay's show? And me, I'm like, I'm a barbecue guy. Like, I'm not like a chef like that. But I said, hey, what the heck? Let me give it a shot. And actually made it through the casting call. I think it was like 15,000 applicants applied for this for this show, and they only picked 18. Oh. So there's out of those thousands of people, man, I was one of the guys that made the cut. Pretty much like Philadelphia, man. I was one of the last cuts that actually made the team back in '92, and then when you find out that Gordon Ramsay picked me on his team, which was like that's like getting drafted all over again, man. He's the mecca of everything. They flew us out to London. We were there for a while, filming the show. Yeah, it was crazy, D. We were quarantined in the room, but it's a fast-paced show. Now I know a lot of people are going to watch the show. It's like, oh, I could have did that, But when that platform comes down and you only got 30 seconds to grab a dish, and they don't tell you what you're cooking, until right before your segment, and you got to grab whatever you can, and you got to make a dish for Gordon Ramsay.
So tell me, how much did it take you out of your comfort zone? You know, we talk about grilling all the time and go back and forth about that, but that show does not cater to grilling. I mean, you're in a kitchen and you're creating stuff, different seasonings and sauces. How much did you feel out of your comfort zone doing that show?
Very much, because I was on the show with 17 other, some were professional chefs. They culinary school for this. They cook in restaurants. We got a firefighter. We got an ICU doctor in there. These people have been doing podcasts. And, me and you, we just in the backyard throwing some wings and a brisket on the grill.
Yeah.
So when they came out, I talked about the show and said, hey, whatever country we're in, you got to make that cuisine. So, I was going to be on the show, I just started practicing on Italian food, Chinese food. So there was just different cuisines that I had to brush up on my skills, and they were following my social media. And one of the things is like, hey, you got to work on your plating. You got to work on your presentation. So he's huge on presentation. So that's why you probably see my posts are nice and pretty now. But it's appealing to the eyes. But the football nature came out, man. I was like, man, I'm here. I don't care about these other chefs. We got an amazing cast. I love all 17 of them. But when you line it up, man, you just got to go put your head down and make the best dish that you can.
That's cool,
if you're in London and you have to cook London cuisine, food there is very bland. You don't use a lot of seasonings and stuff there, man.
No seasoning. And, their big things is franks and beans. Like weenies and beans and bread. And that was one of the things, you'll see on the show. Gordon is huge on salt.
Yes.
He is huge on salt. Like, you think you would get high blood pressure as all the salt he kept telling you.
Oh my God, that's funny, Mark. So I got to ask you, man, as a guy who played the position, we've been watching Slay and Bradbury all year. Not to mention Devontae Maddox in the slot.
Oh yeah,
I mean, we are spoiled with three studs here in this secondary, man. Give me your impressions of what you've seen from these guys.
They're playing at a high level, and they're playing for each other. And you see these guys; they're excited. When Devontae Maddox goes down, you see the defense changes.
Mm-hmm.
He makes a big difference. That third down position, man, is tough.
Yeah.
I had to play that position, and you're guarding against, a really good receiver that's in that slot. So, what he's able to do, he's way better in tackling now. When he first came in the league, that was some of his issues. He wasn't a good tackler, but now he's making tackles, making big plays. Obviously, Slay and Barry on the outside. Those are three solid corners in the league that you need, especially the way they throw the ball around. And we're going to need all that help when 15 enters the building.
So Mark, then let's go to Kansas City, because they've been basically holding down the back end of their defense with a bunch of rookies. They've got 4 rookies. Basically, they've been rotating on the back end. Now, they'll give up some passes, but you look at the overall numbers, Kansas City's only given up 21 points a game. They held both Jacksonville and Cincinnati to 20 points. So, at this stage of the season, you can't call them rookies anymore.
No, you're not a rookie anymore. And, like I said, I learned that fast. At the end of the season, we end up playing the Saints in our first playoff game. And they're like, dude, you ain't no rookie no more. So, the Chiefs, they've been playing well all year. And, they actually, like the last 3 or 4 weeks, their defense has really stepped it up big time. And, those guys are not playing like rookies. And, they have a good front four that can get after the quarterback just as well as the Eagles. Eagles go 7 or 8 deep at the front line. But what Kansas City and Spags is able to do, man, you can never count out Spags. He's always dialing it up. And whenever you got number 15 on your side, man, anything can
Well, that's the thing, Mark, too. This is where he kills you, because even if you get a good pass rush, you better get him down. You don't get him to the ground and he's able to buy a little bit of time. He thrives there. He's probably better doing that than he is just standard pocket kind of stuff.
Yeah, you got to force him left. If you're the Eagles, you got to force him to his left. The Cincinnati Bengals had the worst defensive game plan I've ever seen in a playoff game. They let Patrick Mahomes roll out to his strong arm on the touchdown pass to Kelsey and the scramble when he got the first down and got the unnecessary roughness call. on the defensive player for the Bengals. But when they forced him left, you saw he had a lot of trouble going left and wasn't comfortable. So I don't know what the Cincinnati Bengals were doing. Joe Burrow looked like he was just scared. He was throwing the ball in the ground. One thing about number 5, Jalen Hurts, man. Number one, he's not scared, and they got to deal with his legs. And dude, he is so calm and cool under pressure, man. It is amazing to watch. And we got first time in history, we got 2 African American quarterbacks in the Super Bowl in February in Black History Month. So that's pretty cool, man. So I'm excited for both franchises. Obviously, the front office are doing a great job getting players in the offseason, Kansas City, as well as the Philadelphia Eagles. Getting Reddick from the Cardinals. Oh my goodness! what were they thinking?
Yeah.
Mark, you have played against a lot of great quarterbacks. You have watched a lot of football. Like you say, you do a pre and post game show for the Raiders, so you stay in tune with the game. When you look at the styles of Mahomes and Hurts, how would you categorize their styles against a lot of quarterbacks? And obviously, the game has evolved since you played. Yeah. And the quarterback play has evolved. But how would you categorize them as players and as leaders when you compare them to a lot of great quarterbacks you've looked at?
Jalen leads by example. He's not a big rah-rah guy. Guys just see him battling. He doesn't brag about himself in interviews. It's all about team. He's battled through some injuries, and guys rallied behind him when he came back. A lot of people wanted to throw the Eagles under the bus, like, well, Jalen's hurt. Can they still win? And it seems like he's always fighting the critics. No matter what he does, people are always questioning his ability. And all he's done all his life is win. And we just need to just get behind this guy. We're in the Super Bowl. It's like what else do you want this young man to do? And he's a quiet leader. He's improved in his passing game. His reads on the run option it's gotten a lot better. He's learned to slide now, so he's a lot smarter with that. Patrick Mahomes, on the other hand, is something we've never seen.
Unbelievable.
From you go back to Jeff George, who was a gunslinger, John Elway, who was a gunslinger, but they couldn't move like Patrick Mahomes. And this dude is throwing like no-look passes, underhand passes. If you're a defensive back, and I was talking to Eric Allen, I was like, how do you defend this dude? And he doesn't have any star receivers. He's making these players better by just being in his system. And, he's almost like Michael Jordan. Hey, just give me some guys, and I'm going to make these guys better around me. And what he's able to do, man, Kelsey is a tough cover. And, he's going to really test our secondary, and you just can't single him. Obviously, if they get him on Maddox, that's a matchup they're probably going to try to exploit. So probably have to move in, one of the bigger corners inside. Slate may have to come inside. Barry might have to come inside. So that's going to be a key matchup to watch.
Mark, do me a favor. Compare and contrast, because this Eagles team, they're the sack. I think they're at 78 sacks right now through the postseason. They had 70 during the regular season. It's comparable with your teams, man. The way they used to get after the quarterback. Now, Buddy would do it a little bit differently. Bud Carson, et cetera. They were a little bit more aggressive in terms of setting bodies, but
a little bit. They were a lot more aggressive. They were like seek and destroy.
But look, same result in a lot of ways. Just give me a little on what you're seeing with these guys.
These guys are getting after it. And, that's something that we didn't see really last year. We were like, man, they need some help on the D-line. Obviously, Graham goes down with the Achilles. Fletcher steps up. So these guys are just playing at a high level right now. And you add a Dominic Sue, who doesn't get a lot of highlights or headlines, but he's real good stopping the run and forcing those guys to double team him inside. And he still has that dog in him. He's still physical. And, seeing these guys get after it, the secondary is feasting off that. So they're playing as a great unit all around. And it's good to see in Philadelphia because we pride ourselves on defense.
Mark, since you have ties with both organizations, have you been invited to a lot of different venues and stuff since you've been there, to get access that the common folk like Rob and I don't get?
I got a little juice, man. So, a lot of people want to get my opinion, but I've been getting more love with the Next Level Chef deal than I have been getting on the football tip. This show is like really huge. And I've been seeing Gordon doing the world tour, doing all the interviews and talk. It's going to be a shocker, man. That first series, when you guys watch it, it's going to be pretty interesting. But This city, man, is red and green down the middle. I would say, obviously everybody knows the Eagles travel really well. Kansas City travels really well, and this ain't new for the Chiefs. They've been in this position for a while, and it's good to see. They're going to be relaxed. We'll see how this thing plays out, but man, you couldn't pick two better fan bases to go at it, and two of the best quarterbacks in the league. And congratulations to Patrick Mahomes for winning the MVP. I think Jalen, with missing those last couple of games, probably hurt him a little bit. But
yep.
Jalen is playing at an MVP level, and what he's able to do with his weapons. Devontae is doing really well. Miles is having a really good year, and the sleeper is Boston Scott.
Yeah.
B. Scott is running hard, man, and in the red zone, he can catch the ball out of the backfield, and when he gets in the red zone, dude, he's trying to score.
Mark, you're a Bama guy. Were you getting reports on what Jalen Hurts was like? I mean, we hear this from the second the guy showed up on campus, what a leader he was, the weight room. We've seen all that kind of, that stuff, the 600 pounds and all that craziness. Yeah. Were you hearing about him a long time ago?
Back in high school, some guys that was back in Georgia, they were like, man, you got to watch out for this kid, Hurts. And then once he committed to Alabama, it's like, man, you guys got a tough-nosed kid. That's grounded, it's coached up by his dad. He's not a me guy. He's not a rah-rah guy. You see, he wins the national title in Alabama. He makes a couple bad throws in the title game. They pull him for Tua. Tua goes in and throws a touchdown game winner to Devontae Adams, who was a true freshman at the time. Jalen goes to Oklahoma, doesn't complain, sets all kind of records under Lincoln Riley's offense in Oklahoma. The Eagles draft him. People went crazy. They booed him, said we're wasting a pick. And I said this from day one. I said, man, if you give this kid an opportunity, put some guys around him, he's going to win some ball games. And here we are, 4 years later. Yep. Jalen Hurts is the starting quarterback in the Super Bowl for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Hey, Mark, put your coaching hat on for a minute, or your analyst hat on for a minute. Give me 3 keys to victory for the Eagles. What do they have to do?
First of all, special teams. Kansas City gets after it really well with their punt return team. They have a great job doing that. Special teams is going to be big. Field goal is going to be a big factor, and it's been a big factor throughout these playoffs. Guys missing extra points, guys missing field goals. But special teams, man, is always key. I know a lot of people don't focus on that, but in a game like this, when you have 2 dynamic quarterbacks, you got to focus on special teams. You got to tackle. Tackling is going to be huge in this game, and it's a physical game. And last couple of weeks, these teams have been playing real physical. Hopefully, the referees will let these guys get after it a little bit, because they're both teams that can get after it. Quarterbacks have to be consistent. Whichever quarterback is able to stay upright and stay healthy is going to have a really strong chance to win the ball game. So quarterback play is going to be huge. Your D-line play has to be able to keep those quarterbacks in the pocket. So if you let Jalen or Patrick get outside the pocket, it's going to be a long day for those secondaries.
All right, Mark, who wins it, man?
I'm going to say the Eagles, man. I'm going to go Eagles 31-27. Philadelphia Eagles will be your Super Bowl champion. Get ready for Kelsey to go out there with the mummer, freeze the light poles on South Street and Broad Street. Baby, let's freaking go. Fly, Eagles, fly.
There we go. Mark, good stuff, man.
Hey, hold up, Rob, before you leave.
Yeah.
I need this from you. We talk food a lot. So people have been asking me who are out there and who are going there, places to go. Now, 2 places I gave them. One was Steakhouse 44, I think is the best steakhouse place in the Phoenix area.
Yeah.
And the other one,
right now, I'm actually like 100 yards from.
I know. send me a steak, man. I'm hungry. And the other one is Little Miss Barbecue.
Oh man, Little Miss Barbecue, man, they do a fantastic job. You got to get there early, or you got to know somebody else. I know the guy that I know Mr. Barbecue. So whenever you're in town, I'll make sure you get to the front of the line. But Little Miss Barbecue is amazing.
And they say the people are wrapped around. It started lining up at like 6 a.m. and sometimes they close at like 1 o'clock or 2 because they run out of stuff.
Oh my God.
You got to get there early. If you're there at 1:05, it's too late.
So where are some of your other favorite like Mexican restaurants, Italian, seafood places?
A Mexican restaurant is called Casablanca. It's out there in Gilbert, in Chandler, Arizona, which is really good. Barrio Queen. is downtown Gilbert. Is another nice little Mexican spot. I'm not really too big on Italian restaurants, but ever since been on the show, I've been creating my own Italian dishes.
There you go.
So, man, I haven't gone out in a while. Like I said, since being on that show, learning from different chefs every day. We got 18 people in our mass text that is going off all day. So it's a great opportunity, man, to shine, let these other chefs shine and get their businesses going. And I appreciate you guys with the platform. Who would have thought last year when we were doing a show? Now we're in the Super Bowl, and I'm on Next Level Chef with Gordon Ramsay.
Yeah, I gotta go through your PR person just to talk to you now. You used to be a common folk like me. Now I gotta make appointments just to talk to you now.
Oh my God. Yeah.
The lady that represents me, Joy, she said, get ready because it's going to get even worse, or we say better, because it's good for the brand. And obviously, man, being back on national TV right after the Super Bowl, I don't know how much they pay for that spot, but I know it's a lot of money.
Can you give me a part-time job?
Yeah, right. I hear you. Next Level Chef on Fox, right after the game, Mark. That's where people can catch you.
Yes, sir. Next Level Chef season 2. Root for Team Ramsey. I got a great cast. Cassie, Tucker, Michelle, and my guy Vinny, who's a firefighter up in the Boston area. So Chef Blaze is the other one. Chef Arrington is the other team as well. But we got some amazing people. Hey, it's my man Gort Barbecue is in Philly. He's a huge Eagle fan as well. He has some really good barbecue in Philly. So I'll make sure to turn him on to you guys as well.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Mark, appreciate you jumping on, man. Good luck and keep up the good work. Hopefully we'll talk to you soon, man. Take care.
Oh, I appreciate you guys, man.
All right, Mark.
Enjoy your weekend.
That's Mark McMillian. Had a phenomenal career. Yeah, so he'll be on Next Level Chef on Fox right after the game. Derek is where you can catch him, man. He's come a long way with the grilling and the chef work. He was here in Philadelphia from 92 to 95. Actually crossed over with Barrett for a year.
Yep.
And then played in Kansas City for a couple of years, San Francisco, Washington, but he was a 10th round pick. That's how times have changed, right? 10th round pick, man.
I love his story, and he tells his story so frequently as inspiration to other people on Facebook about everybody told him he can't do this and he can't do that, being 5'8". He wasn't NFL material, and all he did was parlay that into a lengthy career. He's such a strong man of faith, family, and food. He's the nicest guy you ever wanted to meet. Anybody can walk up to him and talk to him. He's just a great dude, man. And to see the success he's having now in life after football, people just think it just popped it. No, he's been putting in years and years of work.
Yeah.
Just going from just being a guy who's just so passionate about barbecuing, and he has all these different kind of grills like I do. Now he's elevated to a point. Companies are giving him free gas grills, free different types of pellet grills. Then he becomes, now he's on a show with Gordon Ramsay. Are you kidding me? What's next for this dude? His own national cooking show? Gee.
Yeah, very cool, man. Very cool. And you can tell he's a little torn, but he'd rather see the Eagles win. Let's be real. He would rather see the Eagles win.
I believe he would. I think he has more ties with Philadelphia than he does Kansas City.
Gave him his first shot, I mean, that's a big deal.
He comes back here a lot too, and he does a lot of charity cook-offs and stuff like that.
He does.
At least 3 or 4 times a year. So I would say his loyalty leans a little bit more towards Philadelphia.
No doubt. Class act, man. That's for sure. All right, let's step aside. We'll come back. Guess what? The Niners are still chirping, Derek. Shockingly. They're still chirping. Yeah. We're going to hear more Niners. We'll look at how the Eagles did against certain good quarterbacks this year. And also, we're going to give bold predictions, meaning out-of-the-box predictions, something that could happen in this game. We'll do that when we come back. Don't go anywhere. By the way, Zach Berman coming up at 2 o'clock. We're also going to hear at 1:50 from Dan Koob of Sport Trade, find out where things are trending right now. So we got a lot in store for you. Don't go anywhere. Derek Gunn, Rob Ellis. We're Sports Take, JAKIB Sports YouTube Network. All right, we'll tell you now about Pro Action Restoration. Yes, if you have a home, you have a business, you've gone through the inconvenience and the pain of fire, water, smoke, mold damage, whatever the case may be, it can be really trying, right? Pro Action Restoration is on call 24 hours, 7 days a week to assist. I've gone through it. I had it happen to me at my parents' house a number of years ago. I called them on a Saturday. They came right out. They corrected the problem. They fixed it. The crew was professional. It was clean. The price was very reasonable. It was a relief, to say the least. They are licensed, bonded, fully insured. They've been serving the tri-state area For more than 2 decades, Pro Action Restoration will work in conjunction with your insurance company. So again, it could be water, could be fire, could be smoke damage, mold remediation, you name it, they can handle it. Give them a call, 610-623-3760, 610-623-3760, or online at proactionrestoration.com. That's proactionrestoration.com.